Hey guys, let me just adjust this, make sure it's straight and everything. Hold on, there we go. But hey, it is Friday, August 23rd, 2024. It is about 9:22 a.m. Pacific time, and I wanted to come on here because recently, at the suggestion of my aunt and Tracy, me and my mom started using Instacart. And for a while, we were using Doordash at the behest and suggestion of my sisters. And when I look at both, because I did a comparison between both when I, started using Instacart to kind of see like, okay, what's the difference in everything? And according to my aunt, Instacart is a little cheaper in some aspects, but I could also say that it's similar. Now, the reason I say that is because if you use priority and everything, you get charged about $3. That's not too bad. Now, with DoorDash, basically you can choose, both allow you to do this. Both allow you to choose the time you want it dropped off. You could choose to have it dropped off the next day. You could choose to have it dropped off within the next hour or later that day or in the evening or whatever the case may be. They both allow you to do that, but most of the time, I think the difference between the two, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the difference between the two is DoorDash still will charge you no matter what the delivery time you choose. Whether you go with the default, delivery time of, it's going to be there within the next couple of, within the next hour or so at least, hour and a half at the latest, but next hour, if you will. Or basically if you choose, hey, I want it delivered at this time, at this time in place, or this time basically during the day or tomorrow, I think they still, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, they still charge you a fee. Now, the difference, if that is true, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, the difference is with Instacart, like I said, they charge you $3 priority. They do. But they don't charge you if you say, I want it, at this time or at that time. If you choose like a later time, they don't really charge you. Now, you might say that's not entirely true, and you'd be correct. You would be correct, because the one thing both have in common is to get a certain, I guess you could say, privilege, out of the service, is you got to spend a certain amount of money. You got to spend a certain amount of money to get a privilege, out of that service. And if you spend over a certain amount, sometimes it all differs between both companies. You'll get basically, let's say, free delivery, or they'll waive the service fee, or whatever the case may be, or whatever situation might allow you to have a little bit of a leeway in your spending. But basically, as far as I know, the difference between the two is one will still charge you, even for later delivery, and the other won't. The only thing, again, like I said, it is how much you spend. Like I think with DoorDash, and I have my previous receipts from DoorDash right here. I think with DoorDash, the delivery fee gets waived after you spend a certain amount, on there. Like this was my more recent one about 2 weeks ago, and I spent in total $82.36. Now here's the thing, that includes my 1 cent discount, because they, one thing that both do have in common is they use the Honey app, the coupon app, and the Honey app will basically try to find, certain ways for you to get cash back or, save money through coupons and everything. So anyway, basically I spent $82.36, on that, and that includes the discount, the Dasher dip, or the Dasher tip, I should say, not dip, but Dasher tip, the tip fee, which was $4.94, the service fee, which was $7.99, free delivery because I spent a certain amount, tax, which was 56 cents, the bottle deposit fee because basically I got water and stuff, because we needed it, which was 40 cents, and the bag fee, which was 20 cents. Now, without all of that, the subtotal was $68.18. That was the subtotal, before all that. So you could assume that without all that being added on, you'd be looking at something maybe about $75, $78 at most. But because you have all of that, including the $7.99 service fee, it went up to $83.26. Not 83, but $82.36. Now, when you compare it to Instacart, and this is my Instacart delivery for today, right here. When you compare it, the subtotal was $25.97. Now, they did do a fee for the bag, which was the 20-cent fee, not a problem. Then the sales tax, again, similar to Doordash, 65 cents. The tip was $1. Now, one thing both allow you to do is tip what you want to tip them. If you want to tip them, $1, that's fine. You want to tip them not $1, but 1%, that's fine. 2%, that's fine. 2%, that's fine. The difference though here, basically, with Doordash, they tell you a percentage. Doordash says, here's a percentage, and then that's how much you'll be tipping them. So, for example, I think on that Doordash order, I tipped them about 5 or 3%, and it was $4.94. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, again, the thing is, the tip I gave them here was $1, and they show it here. They show the $1 here. So, that's what they show. They show the $1, if you will. Now, here's the thing. Service fee. Here's the big difference. Service fee is $3. That's right. Service fee is $3. Now, beverage container fee is 30 cents. So that's something they do add on. Well, not add on, but it's been there as well. That's like for the soda. Now, here's the thing. When it says service fee with it, basically, I'm supposed to get a free service fee if I decide, okay, I want it this way. Like, I'm going to go on there right now. I'm not going to do anything. But I'm going to go on there, and I'm going to, let's say, first of all, I'll rate the person. I'm going to go on there, and I'm going to go to Rayleigh's. I'm going to go to Rayleigh's again. And, okay, just for the heck of it, I'm going to say I want orange juice and I want Nutty Buddies, if you will. Let's say I want those. Okay. We're going to go to here. We're going to go to checkout. Now, the total right now is $14.98, and they are saying that I'm saving $2 on this order because the Florida Natural No Pulp orange juice is $7.99 instead of $9.99. And that's the other difference, I think, between the two. Instacart does let you know, I think, what the sales are in the store. They don't hide them from you or anything. They let you know what the sales are in store, which I think is pretty cool. Now, again, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm sure some people watching this, they work with Instacart, they work with Doordash, and do a lot of the stuff. So correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But anyway, here we go. So there is priority right now would be $3. Okay, priority. Now, fast, which would be a lot later, would be free. Later, free. Pick a time the next day, free. And then, of course, the delivery tip, instead of percentage, it shows you, dollar amounts and everything. So right now, the total would be from $14.98. It would be with a $3 fee, fee, which it shouldn't have, but I guess it does. but the $3 fee, service fee, not delivery, service fee, beverage fee, and delivery tip, it would be $20.08. Now here's the thing. We're gonna do the same thing with DoorDash. Hopefully my computer doesn't decide to go into load mode because it likes to load a lot. I don't know why. But anyway, we're gonna go to DoorDash. Okay. We're gonna go to DoorDash, and what we're gonna do once it loads, and I don't know why it's not loading. Okay, so we have everything here. So we're going to go to this, and okay, oh, hold on. I don't want to check out on anything. Hold on. Let me go back here. We're going to clear this out. We're going to clear this out if it lets me. Hold on, guys. We're going to clear this out if it lets me. Okay, so we've cleared it out. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go to Knob Hill, because that's where I got this from, Knob Hill Rayleigh's. We're going to go here, and we're going to add no pulp orange juice, which is $7.70 according to them, about 29 cents cheaper. And then, already, and get this, before taxes, we're already at $17.18. That right there is the big difference. That right there is the big difference right there. So we're going to add the Nutty Buddies. Okay. And already we're at $24.33. Big difference there, right? Big difference there. And just like with Instacart, they do tell you, hey, spend a certain amount, you might get something free. Like, a discount of delivery or service or whatever. Now, what is the total? Because it's the same, they basically say express-wise, $2.99, basically $3. Or standard, you get it between $10.14, $11.14. Now, right now, the total is $26.78, and that's just for 2 items. 2 items, if you will. That is a $6 difference. Basically, $6 more difference, if you will. Now, the advantage, though, that DoorDash has over Instacart is with, like I said, with a service like the Honey app, basically it gives you 9 more coupon choices than Instacart. Instacart only gives you 1. Here they say, hey, you want more? You want more opportunities to save? We're going to give you more. And they do. They give you 10 coupons at most to try to save a little bit of cash, which I think is cool. So that's one advantage they do have. Now, I know some people might say, well, there's also Uber Eats and all that. I understand that. And they might be better, too. I'm not saying it. But since they're owned by Uber, we don't know. Now, according to this, I only saved 1 cent. Whoop-de-doo. So, you kind of get the difference. The difference mainly between the two is with DoorDash, you have more fees added on, which, would justify, I guess, from their perspective, what you're, justify, what, okay, I'm trying to find the right words to say here. It would justify from their perspective, a reasoning, and hold on for a sec, what do I got there? Oh, it's a portfolio. I don't know why they keep calling. There we go. But anyway, it would justify, I guess it would justify, basically, the reasoning for having somebody go out of the way and, drive to the store, whether they live here in town, they're in Gustine, Patterson, whatever, it would justify them going out of the way and doing this. Now, here's the thing. The reason it's up to this. Now, I was wrong. Let me correct myself on this. I was wrong. I thought it was percentage. I was wrong. They do let you have dollar they do give you dollar amounts, dollar nominations, if you will, dollar denominations, whatever you want to call them. But basically, here's why they would say, why they would say basically, it would justify the reasoning. Again, subtotal would be $14.88. So you would think, you take all the fees away, you'd be looking at something like maybe $15, $16. The reason they justify the $10, upcharge, if you will, is because the bag fee, of course, in store, if you're in person, that happens anyway. The tax, of course, that's understandable. But even with that, you're looking at 45 cents added to 85. You're looking at like $15.70, if you will. But then here you go, delivery fee, $4.99. $4.99 delivery fee, and that's standard. That's a standard delivery fee instead of express. Which is weird. But I think express is if you become part of the Doordash Express sales. And then service fee is $4.49. And then the other difference is if you want zero delivery fee, and a 15% service fee, like you knock it off and everything. You knock off the service fee, if you will, and you want to save, you basically got to add $20.15. That's what you got to do. So basically, the advantage that Instacart has, essentially, is all you have to do is spend a small amount, as far as I know, like $7.99, and you get free delivery. You get that, as far as I know. Now, they could just say, hey, you pick a later time during the day or the next day, you get it free, no matter what. Again, that's great. And that's an advantage they have. So when you get down to it, both have the pros and the cons. Pros and cons, I should say. Instacart, a lot of pros they have is, they don't, charge you a lot, when it comes to adding fees. They don't charge you a lot. Now, again, correct me if I'm wrong. DoorDash, basically, the advantage they have is, one, and my phone just fell off there. I do apologize. I don't know what happened. I think a shifting of the earth or something just happened there. I do apologize. But anyway, like I was saying, and let me just dust off my thing there. But like I was saying, basically, DoorDash, the advantage they have essentially is the more well-known, and basically they have, the advantage they have is the more well-known and everything, and they give you more options coupon-wise, through services like Honey, to save money. They give you that advantage. Instacart's disadvantage when it comes to using a service like Honey is basically, we can only give you one or two. DoorDash says, hey, we're going to give you more options. And the more coupons or the more promo codes that, Honey, Honey gives out, when it comes to, basically saving money with DoorDash, the more money you're going to save. I'm trying to find the right words to say there. I'm also doing my laundry, which is why I'm a little distracted. I do apologize. And of course my phone fell there, so that was kind of a weird thing. But anyway, like I said, that basically is an advantage they have. The advantage is they utilize digital coupon services like Honey, and by utilizing them, they give you more options to save, even though they might be higher, in price, if you will, like when it comes to delivery fees and all that. So again, both have the pros and the cons. The one pro Instacart has over DoorDash, believe it or not, is the fact that they have more options store-wise. It's not just, DoorDash has the options. Don't get me wrong. They have people go out of the way to Patterson, to Gustine, to Turlock, maybe at most, or at the farthest, or the Modesto at the farthest. They have people that will do that, no doubt. And I do apologize for that notification there. They will have people that will do that, no doubt. But again, when you type in, the zip code of where you live, you're only given the listings of the areas around you, in your region. You're only given, like the locales of restaurants and places in Patterson or here in Turlock, maybe even Gustine. But with Instacart, you put in your zip code And you're not just limited to, your local areas, as far as I know. They give you options to places like Best Buy, Target, you name it. And again, I do apologize for the notification again. But they give you those options, which I think is great. So that's one advantage that Instacart has over DoorDash. But in the end, are both services worth having? Well, like Uber and Lyft, when they work properly or are dependable, I would say yes, they are worth it. They are worth it. There's no doubt. Are they both quick services? It all depends on when you order. It all depends on when you order and if you need the items right away. But yes, both are decently quick. Sometimes they may take a little longer, like with DoorDash when, let me see, when I did this order, it took about maybe an hour, I would say a half hour or so, maybe a little longer, about 45 minutes at most, before the person went and started, headed from their destination to the store. But I can assume it's mainly because I ordered it a little after lunch or around lunchtime. And mainly, of course, if you're at home and you're eating lunch and you're wanting to relax, the last thing you want to do is get a notification of, hey, you got to go pick something up for somebody at their house because they ordered through DoorDash. With Instacart, same thing. But it seems that I will say this. The one advantage that Instacart seems to be having now lately over DoorDash, I can't say the same for Uber Eats or Grubhub, but the one thing Instacart has had over DoorDash right now is it seems that even when you schedule for later, their drivers, the people that work with them, to make a living or a partial living, they are on the ball. They are on the ball. They're like, okay, I just got a notification. Let me get myself ready. Out the door they go. DoorDash, I've noticed that, yeah, they're going to get the job done, but instead of being like, oh, I got a notification, let me get myself ready a little bit, a little decent, out the door, like they used to, it seems that even despite if it's lunchtime, if you will, when you order, or that's around the time you might order your order, if you will, even, before that or after, it seems that sometimes the deliverers with DoorDash are getting a little bit more hesitant. Like, even though they know they're going to get a good tip at the end of the day, that goes, to their financial living along with what they get paid by DoorDash, it's almost like they're being a little bit more hesitant. Like, look, it's not worth my time, and if this person lives in town, why don't they do it themselves? That's the jive I get. But outside of that, I will say that DoorDash does when they can count on them, they do have people that will, instantly go or, or basically won't take time. I'm trying to find the right word to say, won't take their time. They'll see what happened. They'll see that, hey, I got a notification on my phone. I got to go take care of this. They'll get themselves ready, and then they'll go no matter where they are. Whether they live in town, a little outside of town, whatever, they will do it. But again, I think the difference right now is the Instacart people have a little bit more priority. They have a little bit more priority at the fact of, oh, I need to take care of this for this person because this is my job and I made a commitment to doing this. So again, both have the pros and cons, but it's hard. But for me, I've been doing DoorDash for a lot longer than Instacart. Yes, Instacart is a lot cheaper in some areas, mostly when it comes to the service and delivery, and as well as they do basically let you know on their website that, hey, this is some of the deals in stores and everything. DoorDash doesn't do that, but it's kind of still hard to say. But I will give a little bit of an edge to Instacart right now for the fact that not only are they a little cheaper, not only do it seems like the drivers are, the people that work with them are a lot more, prioritized and everything. But also the fact that at the end of the day, they also have more variety of stores, not just within the city or region you live in, but outside of it as well. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Which service do you prefer over the other? Do you prefer DoorDash or Instacart? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything. Comment below. Also, like the video. Ring the bell for notification for upcoming content. Also, subscribe to the channel. It will be helpful to me. Also, click on the link. The links in the description down below. One of them is to my Teespring store. Check that out for merchandise you can't get anywhere else. as well as where you can find my content elsewhere here on the internet. And until next time, guys, I do apologize for the phone falling the way it did. Again, I think there was a little bit of an adjustment of the earth there. How the ground kind of shifts a little bit. But let me know what your thoughts are. Again, what services do you prefer over the other? And until then, I am out.